Don't trust her. Can't be good. Hey, that's mine. Give it back. No, I'll eat it. As will pass. Over here, Livia-Onisa. I wonder where they swiped it from. They were fighting over a donut or something, playing around really loudly. Hey, Angie-sama is reading, so can't you be a little more quiet? Yelling stuff like that makes you the loudest one, Satan. Be silent, you foolish little sister. You're the loud one, Lucifer Nia-sama. Is there something you'd like to say to me? I was already used to the oldest and the third oldest sister arguing with each other. Even though they're both so quick to anger, it's a bit funny how they're both having to hold back a little. They might be surprisingly like each other. You were told to be noisy, but this is a bit too much. Should I make them lower the volume a little? They can mess around all they want. It's 100 times more pleasant than that shrill laughter in the classroom. Angie-sama, go to the next page quickly. You read really slow. You like to read, Mammon? You look like you'd be the worst at doing boring things. Mammon controls greed. That also includes a thirst for knowledge. Still, she wants to keep that knowledge all for herself, so be warned that she refuses to let people read any book you give her, and sometimes burns them after reading them. That's a bit extreme. I like knowing things that no one else knows. I like being able to do things that no one else can do. So I like studying and practicing, because I want to keep wisdom that no one else knows about all to myself. As Mammon said that, her eyes sparkling, she peered down at the page that was open and read through it again. You could see the greed that made her covet that page even more thoroughly than I did. As you can see, my magical power has grown much stronger than it was in the first day I summoned them. By now I've gotten so that I can summon all of the 7 Sisters of Purgatory at once and still calmly read a book like this. This place, although I can't recall exactly where it is a quiet and calm street-side bench. I had been young back then, so I don't remember the details of its location. Still, I remember that my days walking here were a lot of fun. Together with Dad, Mom, and even Oni-chan, it was a memory of a very rare and very happy day when everyone had been together. The people who walked by every once in a while didn't notice me. They just pleasantly ignored me and passed by as though everything was normal. Even the 7 Sisters' incredible outfits weren't embarrassing or anything, because it wasn't like anyone was actually watching. Come to think of it, I'm getting pretty used to it. Yeah, me too. First time I saw one of them, I was like, what the hell is that kind of outfit? But now I don't even notice it anymore. As long as they don't make me wear those. I was sitting on a stylish bench, memorizing a timeline for world history. In an academy system where everything is based on collective responsibility, there's no tolerance for dunces. It seemed that I was considerably below the average grade for the class. According to those extremely intellectual girls, if I alone improved my grade, the average would rise drastically. They had been kind enough to show me with a graph drawn by colorful pens on a B4 sheet of drawing paper. Just thinking of the effort it had taken to draw that was repulsive, but I've already spat out all of those complaints. I've already voiced my constant and furious anger and sadness of these girls here. The sisters were sometimes indignant, sometimes sympathetic, and sometimes mourned along with me. I was truly happy to be able to share emotions like that with friends. It's said that they were originally furniture that existed to carry out Beatrice's cruel sacrifice ceremony. According to the occult message ball I hated, it seems that several of them even attacked my family. But I don't believe that, and it's pointless to question them about it. They are furniture, so they only respond to their master's requests. Even if they really did attack my family, I can't hate them. What I really hated was the Golden Witch Beatrice, or else that ringleader of the Yoshinomiya suspicion, Aunt Eva. Angie-sama, quickly, the next page! Oh, sorry. I'm tired. Mind if I take a break? Angie-sama said break! Let's play! Angie-sama, let's play! That's not what a break is. Although, okay, I she means taking a break from reading. So that in that case it makes sense. When they noticed that I had interrupted my studying, the most energetic youngest sisters gathered around me. And that wasn't all. Even Maria, Onechan, and Sakutaro showed themselves. They had probably been very close by, but they must have hid themselves so that they wouldn't interrupt my studying.
Udio, Angie, how's studying?
Sakutaro, how are you? Wait a second, let me squeeze him too. Don't we always say that the first one to get there wins? Toot.
You're crushing me.
You looked around when you showed up while all the 7 sisters were gathered. Give up and let us hug you.
Come on, it always turns out this way. I apologize for my stupid older and younger sisters.
Nah, Sakutaro's happy to meet everyone too. How's it going, Angie? How's the studying going? Thanks. Well, not bad. They were nice enough to pass around printouts from a quiz that another class took earlier. The beautiful sense of solidarity is enough to bring tears to my eyes. Well, at least it's probably better to put a timeline into my head.
You sure are good at studying, Angie. You'll be able to get a lot of points, you.
Good work. I was terrible at studying, so I'm jealous of you for being able to get a good score when you study hard. You're joking. When it comes to English, Latin, and knowledge of the occult, you're much more amazing for being able to remember so much. I can remember anything when studying magic, but I can't remember anything boring, so that didn't happen all for tests. Well, it's true that occult knowledge would be like that, but your grades must have been pretty good in English, right? In the first year of elementary school, on a Japanese language test, there was a problem when I was given a picture of a gun and was told to write its name in 4 squares. It got marked wrong because I wrote the English word rifle in katakana. Why? Doesn't that fit? It was supposed to be the Japanese word for gun in hiragana, teppo. I was told that's wrong because you don't learn katakana in 1st grade. Oh, fuck that. You can't call that wrong. I didn't really get it, so from that day on tests I wrote everything in hiragana. But I got in trouble with Mama for some reason. Got in trouble with the teachers too. See, that's kind of, I hate that. When you like write something that is actually right, but just doesn't fit what the textbook expected in that situation, to just mark that as wrong is kind of unfair. You were probably born in the wrong country, Honey-chan. Then I'd rather have been born in a country of witches so I could enter witch school. Yeah, or be burned as a witch. Great fun, I'm telling you.
If that happened, you might have had much more wonderful magical friends. Or you might have been burned at the stake, who knows?
But it's not like I mind it now. After all, I can use lots of magic and I've got a lot of magic friends. Sakudaro is all I need.
I'm not the only one. There's also Sakusuke and Sakuichi, the animal band, Shimoda-kun the seal, Sanae-san the rabbit, Mr. Pig-kun, and plenty more.
Incredible. The number of Onechan's friends keeps increasing. Every time I ask, the number of names for her friends grows. At some point, she's gonna have an army. But there's no doubt that Sakutaro is her best friend. I'm a little jealous of all those close friends. What do you think? How are the 7 sisters? Do you get along with them? Those sisters are really energetic. They sometimes say shady stuff, but they aren't bad. I'd wanted to get a cute kid like Sakutaro, but I think being with them now is more than enough. If you learn more of my magic of origins, I'm sure you'll be able to give birth to friends you like, Angie. Creation is still a bit too hard for you now. But there's a difference between creation and summoning, and resurrection is also different. So your greatest wish really is to revive your family? Yes, I have a vessel for it. This. That's right. I'm sure that hair accessory will eventually become the key to summoning Battler. The rest is up to your training, Angie. Although not knowing how long it'll take is enough to make me cry.
Stay strong even if it's tough. If you don't give up, Angie, it will definitely come true someday.
If someone gave me some proof that it'd definitely be granted, at least that would calm my heart.
Then I guarantee it. Without a doubt, Angie will surely have her wish granted someday.
Thanks, I'm glad to hear it, even if you're just saying it to console me.
It's not like that,
Stop it, Angie. That kind of emotion will turn into the magic-resisting toxin. The feeling that your dreams will definitely come true is the best seed that buds into magic power. That's right, sorry, teacher. You need to be a bit greedier, Angie-sama. Yeah, figures that you would say that. Go however far it takes to get the thing you desire. You will lacking the willpower to never give up until you get it.
That isn't true. Angie's doing her best.
Thanks, Sakutaro and Mamon. Crying about it won't help anything. There's nothing I can do except hang in there. I'll try hard. I'll grit my teeth. I'll definitely make my dreams come true. With certainty.
You're awesome, Angie. Do your best. Mama and I will support you.
Yes, we'll support you. The greedier our master is, the more our worth will increase. More importantly, Angie-sama, we finally got 10 people gathered here. We plan to have everyone play Shiri-tori or something. If you lose, there's a punishment game. Let me nibble your ears. Yeah, how about no? Come on, is hunger the only thing inside that head of yours? Please forgive my foolish sister's stupid proposals. Are you sure it isn't about time you return to your studying? No. I waited so long for you to finish studying, so I can't stand it if you don't play with us. I don't think it's a bad idea. Perhaps playing every once in a while is good for softening the mind. You govern sloth, right, Belva? What you're saying sounds reasonable, but you're actually being sneaky, aren't you? Huh. My apologies. You're diligent, Angie-sama. If it's okay with Angie, I'd also like to play with everyone. Let's make some noise. It'll definitely be fun.
Udio, Angie, let's play. Let's all do Shiritori.
In that case, let's start from Sakutaro's Udio. In that case, which sounds should we start the next word from? Du? Or you? From Udio? I wonder. Maybe it really should be du. It's rare for a word that ends like that to come up. But then first, I'll do a word starting with du. Ryuzu. Watch crown. I wanted to go first. Ryuto. Would have been wonderful. Allude. Zu? Feels like we keep getting tough ones. Wait a sec, what order are we going in? Who's next?
Udio. I don't think it matters whoever thinks of a matching word first.
That sounds interesting. How about the person who can say the most wins? Shiritori zu is the words. Yeah, I'm trying to think of a word that starts with zu. Zukan? It's fast-talking Shiritori, yeah. Great. You played a 5-hour game of Shiritori? Are you mad? And you ran out of zu words. Wow, I'm not surprised. It's like playing it in German and then you have to start words with X. Online with a bot. Not sure if that makes it better. Then I'll go. Zucchini! Ninniku itame! Mekabu with pasta! All of them delicious! I said 3 of them! Bells takes 3 points. Can you use conjunctions? If you could use with, then anything would work. That last one doesn't count. Minus 1 point. Let's start from me. Then I'll go. Marine. What?
Get. You.
Gesuido.
Gesuido. Umetatechi. Chikashitsu.
How do you like them apples? One-sama, those are all pretty crummy words. So what? Then why don't you try falling out with something refined? Anyway, that's 3 points for me.
Gesuido.
The next one is Tsu, okay? Tsu. I've never played such a weird Shiritori before. Yeah, it's fun.
Udio. I don't get it at all, but it's fun. Udio.
I've played normal Shiritori before, but I've never experienced a Shiritori this weird. There's only the lively 7 sisters, Maria Oni-chan, Sakutaro, and me. I'm now surrounded by friends that are so fun to be with. The courage to accept a world of magic, a world of witches. That alone didn't change the fact that I was still locked up in an academy, without a single friend in my class, but despite that I'm able to have such a fun and lively time. I'll also become a witch like Maria Oni-chan. And someday I'll add my family to this fun circle. Dad, Mom, and Oni-chan. And if possible, George Oni-chan and Jessica Oni-chan. And the other relatives. Except Eva, probably. I'll call everyone here without a single person missing, and we'll all gather together. This is my dream. That's right. Until I make that come true, I definitely won't lose heart. I'm sure you'll become a great witch, Angie-sama, as long as you believe in that. With 7 stakes of purgatory, we'll always serve by your side until that day comes. You'll be there for me, no matter how long. You'll lend me your strength. Of course. After all, I'm your friend, right, Angie-sama? Yes, that's right. Let's all stick together and play together. Today and in the future, always, always. Until the day your dream comes true, Angie-sama. The lively 10-person game of Shiritori, alongside a street cut off from time under the constantly bright rays of the sun, could have continued forever. Wait, seriously? What's going on, Oshirumiya-san? In the end, I wasn't able to get a very good grade on my test. I tried memorizing things in my own way, but if you could manage anything by cramming the night before a test, no one would ever worry about tests. Normally when you know all the problems beforehand, you should be able to pass easily, right? Easily! It's true that we didn't go so far as to write the answers into the blanks for you. We thought you'd studied at least that much. What the hell? Come on, are you serious? I can't believe it. They're almost all wrong, aren't they? Did you really study properly? More or less. This isn't what you call more or less, Shirumiya-san. It's so horrible that it makes me dizzy, okay? Oh god, please forgive her for getting a miserable grade on such an easy test, and for making the average score for the entire class plummet. The same test had been given in another class first. That test paper had been obtained, so the average score for our class had been unusually high. Even to obscure my slight improvement, However, there were some things I had no excuse for. If I had spent that entire day studying like mad, I might have been able to get a slightly higher score. Instead, I've played with imaginary friends, but I hadn't gone that far. After that, on that day, I spent the whole time having fun playing Shiritori with the seven sisters, Sakutaro and Onechan. As expected, the winner had been Maria Onechan. She was a strong player thanks to her wide knowledge of trivia. Sakutaro had gotten the punishment game. He spent the whole time cheering for everyone else's answers, completely forgetting to think of any himself. Because of that, he'd been squished by the seven sisters and had his ears thoroughly nibbled, hadn't he? Hey, all listening, Oshido-miya-san? They were surrounding me, twittering like small birds. They were annoying, smelly. On the outside of that circle was Mammon, an exasperated expression on her face. This is a messed up school, just like usual. Shouldn't you be more than happy as long as your own grades are good? It's probably because of that collective responsibility thing. Instead of worrying about their own grades, they're more concerned about how embarrassing it is for the class average to be low. Or maybe it's because they really hate the volunteer work they're forced to do as a punishment. So in other words, they aren't studying because they want their grades to be good, but because of collective responsibility and since they hate volunteer work? They're jealous and embarrassed. They don't want to be inferior to anyone and they don't want to be humiliated. That's the only feeling that drives them to study. What noisy people. If they want to study, why can't they just do it themselves? In the end, without collective responsibility and volunteer work, they'd have no desire to study. How foolish it is to study without knowing the meaning of studying. Still, these guys really are annoying and stupid. Don't you dare disturb Angie-sama's precious day for even a minute. Well, I hate those people. Just get lost. I'm hungry. Go away now. Sorry, everyone. I wonder why humans are so shameful. It's probably because instead of working hard themselves, it's easier to make you work hard and earn them a higher class average to satisfy their greed. Humans are all greedy, and they'll burden others with their greed to make things easier for themselves. We'll eventually be reunited with them on the mountain of purgatory. When they get to the fifth terrace, they'd better watch their step. Mammon controls the fifth terrace of the mountain that reaches to heaven, Mount Purgatory. Since she's saying this, you can probably be sure that after those girls die, their journey to heaven won't be an easy one. No, on the contrary, let them just fall into hell. The class committee went to the student council and applied to use a classroom during lunch and after school. The purpose of use was for a class study group, a wonderful little gathering so that they could all surround me and make me study. I'm so grateful I could cry. Which meant that every day all of my lunch and 3 hours of my afternoon would be stolen. The academy and its student council, with its theme of student self-government, instantly approved of this pleasant activity that the students were taking up of their own initiative. In other words, I was no longer able to escape after school by leaving the classroom. After school, the first class study group meeting started right away. Would they open a textbook, then kindly and carefully explain so that even I could understand it? Of course it didn't turn out like such a naive illusion. After school in the classroom, dozens of my classmates crowded around my desk. First, before we started studying, why were my grades so bad? What was the reason? It was decided that we couldn't start until I could clearly answer those questions, become aware of the problem, and show regret for my actions. Of course, there's no way for me to respond when asked a question like that. They've loathed me all this time, and they've rejected me and kept me at a distance, preventing me from joining in on their community, so I have avoided their community myself. There shouldn't have been any conflict for either of us that way, so even in this group that was enthusiastic about raising the class average, they obviously kept me at a distance. Even if I tried to join in, they would probably ignore me like they always did in the past. If you just asked, we would have taught you whatever you wanted, right? Right? They were getting themselves all worked up. I've already had enough of the hypocrisy of their tacked-on excuses. Oshido-miya-san, your problem is that you're lacking a cooperative personality. You mustn't be satisfied as long as everything's good for you alone. Those who gather in St. Lucia's place of learning shall have a cooperative heart. It's written right there in the student handbook, right? I think having a cooperative heart is what gives birth to the desire to study together and contribute to the entire class. I believe that itself is the thing you like before you even start studying, Oshido-miya-san. But what do you say? Hey, have you even been listening to us? We went to all the trouble of staying after school to say this for your sake, right? I'm so grateful I could cry. Of course they didn't like that. This way, it almost makes it look like we're bullying you, they reprimanded me. Fortunately, I'm normally all cried out anyway. If I'm told not to cry, I can hold it back. First I was made to write a letter of remorse and read it out loud. Of course, this was to be done by today. It's kinda messed up. The class committee politely applied to the student council in the staff room for an extension on the use of the classroom. It seems it was accepted right away, which means that starting now, I'll be forced into self-criticism for at least a full 5 hours here. Yoshidomiya Angie got a low score on her test and caused trouble for her classmates. That's not it, right? You getting low grades and causing us trouble isn't the root of the problem, is it? It's a cooperative attitude, right? A cooperative attitude. Come on, why do we even have to direct Yoshidomiya-san on how to write a letter of regret? Their abusive jeers flew about one after another. I followed their directions and erased it. Yoshidomiya Angie didn't have a cooperative attitude and caused trouble for her classmates. Hey, wait a sec, it's pointless if you just write whatever we say, right? Do you really know what regret means? It's pointless if you don't write it in your own words. Pointless. I always thought you were a bit strange, Yoshidomiya-san, but you really are weird. Hehehe. Even following their directions didn't change the jeers much, and now it felt like they were mocking me even more. So for several more hours without rest, without even being allowed to go to the bathroom, much less dinner, I was continuously abused. I was coerced into writing a paragraph that humiliated myself. It's about time somebody hits all these girls with a chair in the face. At about 9 that night. Good lord, at night? I was told to stand up and read it aloud. The contents were smeared black with tears and eraser marks. It certainly was my handwriting, but it was like a list of soulless letters whose contents I couldn't even remember. Everything had been copied down according to their orders, so while I had been the one to write the letters, they weren't my words. I had been coerced into writing them down, and even coerced into reading them aloud. Even after all this time, I was surprised to learn that, beyond just ignoring people and hiding their things, there are other ways to bully people. Hey, read it aloud quickly! Look how many people are staying this late just for you, Shidomiya-san. Why not thank us a little? Isn't the fact that she doesn't feel gratitude a sign that she doesn't have a scrap of a cooperative attitude? It's okay, Yoshidomiya-san. We'll always be with you from now on. Why not study with us and remake yourself? Okay. That's going the extra mile indeed. As I stood by my seat, surrounded by them, I dropped my gaze towards the blackened page, and then I spoke those humiliating words. But right away jeers flew at me, saying that they couldn't hear and to speak up. I can't read it. I had no idea that being forced to read a paragraph humiliating me would be so painful. My throat shook. My fingertips shook. The paragraph of humiliation written in my own handwriting made my eyes burn with a hot liquid. So my world blurred and twisted. I saw the girls surrounding me twist and bend. I saw them twist and bend into the impression I had of them. In other words, that was my true field of vision. Beyond that twisted crowd of people, I could see my friends. Compassion could be seen in all of their eyes. Angie, stay strong. Maria One-chan and Sakotaro were looking at me with sad eyes, probably because they realized that even cheap words of compassion would hurt me. They kept alternating between trying to say something and hanging their heads. What the hell is wrong with these people? They're just the worst. Really pisses me off. What's so fun about gathering around Angie-sama and torturing her? It's a resentment they can't voice despite their jealousy. They don't care who it hurts as long as they can let it out. What horrible people. Angie-sama, in this kind of situation, it's okay to go mad with rage for your own honor's sake. Anger is an appropriate emotion, and an appropriate reaction is beat them up. Smash them all. If you don't get mad now, when will you get mad? Stop it, don't stir Angie-sama up with cheap anger. If Angie-sama could do that, she would have done it already. You should only get angry if doing so will improve the situation. However, from an objective standpoint, doing that now will probably only aggravate the situation further. It may be humiliating, but the wisest thing to do now is to withstand it. Aha, you really are a sloth, Belvoir. Quit fooling around, I can't stand this. I can't forgive them.
Everyone, calm down. It'll become a burden for Angie and you.
A burden? What are you talking about? Is this the time or place to be calm? We furniture are not so cruel as to coolly watch when our master is humiliated. Angie-sama, you have no obligation to read such a humiliating letter. If you can't let out a cry of rage, then at least throw it onto the floor. You don't need to trash talk them. You don't need to yell so loud that they bend over backwards. Just throw the notebook on the floor with all your might. By doing just that, you'll be able to show your strong will. Don't start running on by yourself, Mammon. I told you, right? If Angie-sama could do it, she would have done so long ago. Nothing will be resolved by the eruption of momentary emotions. Can't you see that doing that will only make the treatment of Angie-sama even more severe? Why is this happening to Angie-sama when she didn't do anything wrong? Not letting her eat dinner and making her stay so long after school, I hate it. And it's not just tonight, but tomorrow and the day after too. That's enough, you can't simply sit here bearing this humiliation. Hey, are you really listening to us? Someone tugged at my hair. I was torn back into my tragic reality. I was no longer even permitted to listen to the seven sisters speaking on my behalf in my heart. My hair was lifted upwards, one of my hair ornaments came off, and I could hear the sound of it rolling on the ground. Uh-oh. No one picked it up. To the contrary, they casually avoided it, as though something filthy was rolling towards them. I tried to follow it with my eyes, but my hair was tugged upwards again. Why do you never listen to us, even though we're talking about something so serious? In one ear and out the other, isn't it? Does anything get into that thick skull of yours? Get a grip, okay? Are you really conscious of the trouble you're causing us? You aren't going to start saying that you just wrote it grudgingly because we told you to, right? Until you really show regret of your own will, this seriously isn't going to end, okay? It's not just for today. It'll seriously keep on going tomorrow and the day after, you see. Don't you play us for fools, okay? I mean, why are you even still alive? Is it normal to go on living like this? If it were me, I'd just die. You can't live like this, can you? Because you being alive just means getting in other people's way all the time, right? If it were me, I definitely couldn't live on. Yeah, I'd die too. If doing that's better for the world, then I'd die right away, right? Then die. Angie-sama, kill all of them now. Lucifer, can you hear me? You seven sisters of purgatory are incredible furniture that can massacre mere humans in the flesh, right? You're always boasting about it to me. Then do it. Massacre them right now. Oh, I would love to see that. Right here, right now. Well, for some reason Lucifer hesitated. Why? What's wrong? You're certain kill furniture that can fly around faster than the eye can see and instantly pierce the hearts of a witch's enemies, right? And I'm giving you an order as your master. Carry it out right away. Kill them all. Angie-sama, please calm down. If they had immediately followed my brutal order, making heaps of corpses with me at the center, I was ready to reflect on my own reckless actions of stealing human lives so readily, ready to regret and repent just as they had wanted me to. I was prepared to do that, and yet Lucifer just let an unsure expression rise on her face and didn't move to carry out my order. I knew it. Yeah, I knew it. Vaguely. No, that's not right. I've known from the beginning. I've known that magic was all empty this whole time, haven't I? The seven sisters of purgatory? Yeah, right. Stupid, so pointless. I've known it the whole time. Angie-sama, I glared into the worthless Lucifer's eyes, and pain seemed to accompany that gaze. As though she was being assaulted with a violent headache, Lucifer grasped her head with both arms. I was about to say that earlier. It seemed like she abandoned them at some point, so I guess this is where she did that. But it looked like she couldn't tear her eyes off my gaze, so she was assaulted with a pain that grew more and more violent. Useless. I hate you. Disappear. You're nothing but a delusion inside my head. Hopelessness and disappointment, resignation and a dream's end. A cracking sound like you'd hear from a frozen lake's surface during a fierce winter rang out just once. At the same time, Lucifer's form, which was being tormented by violent pain, stiffened in place and grew cloudy. It was almost as though a beautifully polished glass window had been heartlessly smashed and turned white from the countless fissures. And that was an accurate analogy. At some point, Lucifer's form had turned into a glass ornament of the same shape. Countless fissures ran through it from the inside, and as the head and arms collapsed, it crumbled to the floor. Lucini! Who's the second sister? Leviathan? Carry out my order. Massacre them right now. No, Angie-sama, please calm your heart and listen. I'm not looking for excuses or backtalk on an answer. I want nothing more than a swift confirmation of my order to eradicate the girls who are humiliating me. If you're going to say anything else, there's no need for me to listen until the end. After Leviathan also turned white due to countless cracks throughout her whole body, she fell over backwards, splitting into separate parts along her neck, hips, and arms. If she'd been smashed to bits and lost her original form, it probably wouldn't have seemed so brutal. So seeing the two of them halfway left over made the remaining younger sisters shake even harder. Why won't you listen to my orders? Why? My apologies. Here, under the current conditions, the anti-magic power is extremely strong and... What's that? You can't do it because humans are here, that's your logic? Isn't killing humans what you do? If you can't do that, then what use are you as furniture? Die. Please spare me, Angie-sama. As she clutched her head with both arms, Satan also turned white and fell down face first. Apparently the neck is the most slender part after all. Her head slid off and rolled over to Belphegor's feet. We can't do it because there are too many humans. Then later on I'll call them into the shadows one by one, and you can make a bloodbath of all of them, right? With your current magical power, it may be easy for you to converse with us. However, you still lack the training to materialize us in front of all of the humans here. I deeply understand your anger, but even if you could use us to attack and murder everyone here, that would only make your situation worse. I know it's humiliating, but please control your anger for the time being. Will I get the same answer from the next three? Are you going to tell me you can't do it because the anti-magic power is too great? Are you going to tell me you can't do it because my magical power is too weak? Then I won't ask you to kill all of them. Just one person is fine, so try and kill them. Right here, right now. As Asmodeus and Beelzebub held each other, they crouched down, cringing in fear under my glare. If they'd been able to obey my order, they probably would have carried it out immediately. And yet here they were, crouching down. Empty, sad, and pathetic. That's right, I've known. These girls can't even touch reality with one of their fingers. No, no, Beels, I'm scared. Beels! Angie-sama, spares, I don't want to die. Die, useless furniture. Why are you guys even alive? Why are you alive when your lives are worthless? It doesn't matter if you die, right? Die. I'm telling you to die. Do you think any idiot will leave furniture that has no use lying around? But please stop, Angie-sama. What is it, Mammon? Are you gonna be the only one to fulfill my order? That's right. You're my best friend. You alone will do it for me. Get them. As you are now, Angie-sama, even if you use us, you aren't capable of committing murder. It's furniture's duty to help with things their master can do. Things that even the master can't do, we cannot do. Do you hate them, Angie-sama? You do hate them, right? I totally understand why you want to kill them. Okay, in that case, go ahead and kill them, Angie-sama. If you stain your own hands with blood, then we, the Seven Sisters of Purgatory, will go along with you however far you go. I'm asking you all because I can do it myself, aren't I? Isn't being able to do things I can the thing that makes you furniture? Yes, we are furniture to be used. Please go ahead and use us to kill. You'll be the one killing, Angie-sama. If you're saying that you want to kill, then go ahead, be my guest. No need to hesitate. Go and carry it out right now. And once you've prepared yourself mentally, once you're prepared to dirty your own hands, then we'll help you. But you haven't done that, Angie-sama. Huh. Can't speak, furniture. You delusion. I get it already. You don't all have to tell me. You people can't do anything. You're nothing more than my delusions, illusions, daydreams. I haven't had a single friend from the very beginning. You're just a phantom, a pretend friend I created in my heart, in my isolation, right? I've known from the very beginning. Yeah, that's right. We're an illusion inside your head, Angie-sama, but so what? Yes, that's true. We're just imaginary friends created to soothe a lonely Angie-sama's heart because she doesn't have a single friend, but so what? If you want to look at reality, just look at it. You can't stop looking at us and return to being surrounded and bathed with jeering over there. Come on, go back. Welcome home to reality. Just call on us only when it's convenient for you and pretend you're friends. Then spur us on even though you don't have the guts to dirty your own hands. Then deny and erase us once you realize that it's hopeless. Yes, please enjoy it. I'll leave with a shriek of anguish just like you want, Angie-sama. Just copy the jeering that you're being showered with right now and do the same to us to get it off your chest. That's also furniture's duty. Getting slammed against the floor when someone's pissed off is also a chair's important duty. If that alone can absorb their master's bad mood, even for an instant, there can be no greater honor for furniture. Kill me, deny me, your first and final friend. At the end, Mammon had a mocking expression on her face, but for some reason it looked splashed with tears. Mammon, Beelzebub, and Asmodeus were smashed and fell to the floor. I guess that explains why they weren't very happy to see her again. Come over here, Sakotaro. Angie's a little agitated right now. A little, yeah, I don't know. So you mustn't get close.
What about everyone else? Are all the Seven Sisters alive? Did they die?
It's okay. It looks gruesome, but those are the remains of their vessels after being deported from the human world. Shells that have been shed. So it's alright. They're probably deeply hurt, but they're okay. Everyone is alive. I'm sure we'll be able to meet them again someday.
Thank goodness.
Angie has violated the contract of Mariage Saucier. To do such a horrible thing, even though witches of the Alliance must respect and accept one another. Even though they were all important friends to you, Angie. No witches alliance has anything to do with this. Magic friends, give me a break. I killed them, erased them. I smashed the Seven Sisters.
Oh dear, that's so cruel, so cruel.
Just give it a rest with this playing witches thing. I'm begging you. Maria, One-chan, and Sakutaro, I want you to disappear by yourselves. Even in my imagination, I don't want to kill and erase you.
We aren't your imagination. We're your friends, ain't you? Yeah.
Sakutaro said that as he hid behind Maria One-chan, sobbing. Sakutaro doesn't exist. Sakutaro is also an imaginary creature One-chan created to distract herself from her loneliness.
Oh dear, it hurts, Maria.
Stop it. Denying my friend is the one thing I will not permit. This it. So much high voice today. The same power that had smashed the Seven Sisters was probably eating into Sakutaro as well. But Maria One-chan was apparently protecting him with some other power, so Sakutaro's form didn't break and scatter. One-chan glared at me sharply. It was a serious expression that I had never seen before. Sakutaro is my furniture. You cannot erase him, Angie. However, trying to deny someone is the greatest form of scorn for a witch. Sakutaro didn't exist from the very beginning. He's just a lion stuffed animal, a phantom you personified with the delusions inside your own mind. It's not true. Sakutaro is my friend. He was a stuffed animal once, but now he isn't. No, he is a stuffed animal made of cloth and cotton. He can't move or talk by himself. You're just talking for him like a ventriloquist, right? You call that magic? You call that a witch? You call that a friend? I can't accept that.
Oh dear, am I not me? Am I just a stuffed animal that can't really talk and not Maria's friend? Oh dear.
As though struck with a high fever, Sakutaro weakened bit by bit. As he clung to One-chan's body, he did all he could to continue standing, but his body began to gradually slip down. As he did, One-chan held him, yelling at me as tears streamed down her face. Stop it! Don't burn Sakutaro with a magic-resisting toxin! Don't bully him! Don't insult him! Don't deny him! Maria One-chan, you're so weird. There's no Sakutaro. Stuffed animals are stuffed animals. I learned from Mama that they're made of cloth and cotton. There's no way they can walk or talk.
Oh dear,
Sakutaro, you aren't a stuffed animal, you're a friend. Instead of playing with stuffed animals, it's better to play outside with everyone. I'm bored with stuffed animals already. I hate you, Angie. Why say something like that? I hate. I hate you. You're not my friend. I won't let you be one of us witches anymore. Upon my name, the Apprentice Witch of Origins, Maria, I hereby expel the Apprentice Witch Angie from the Mariage Sorcière Alliance of Witches. And then, what had been peaceful days to be became a daydream and ended. By now it's impossible to prove. No one can verify whether that really was magic or whether those really were my friends, or else nothing more than a daydream. I, the sole observer, concluded that they were a daydream, so that became the truth. Perhaps in the farther future I'll observe it again, and when that happens, maybe I'll acknowledge that it wasn't a dream, that the Seven Sisters really were my friends, and that along with Maria One-chan and Sakutaro, they did everything they could for me in my isolation. Something so vague is neither the truth nor an illusion. Maybe the reality here and now is the only world with the real me. Where is the real me? The person standing amidst the girl's exposed wreckage that resembles broken glass sculptures, that girl who's breathing harshly, her shoulders heaving, isn't me. I'm over there. The me that's surrounded by a crowd and being showered by jeers and who's hanging her head, her eyes red, isn't the me over there, the real me. I won't dream anymore, because there's nowhere left to run. I'm going back. I'll return myself to the cage made of flesh. Hey, are you listening to us? It's not like anything will be resolved if you just stand there hanging your head, right? I hear you. Ah, you finally answered. You aren't thinking that this will end if you stay silent or that we'll forgive you if you cry, right? We're asking if you're aware. We're asking if you're aware of the trouble you're causing those around you. I slowly nodded. I acknowledged it. I acknowledged that I had slipped into the world of my daydream, trying to remain separate from the others in my class, to separate myself from and disgrace those sisters who spoke to me with reliable and kind words. Despite being totally unable to help when I really wanted them to, I acknowledged that. I, Ushiduma Angie, do not have a cooperative attitude and cause trouble for my classmates. There is nothing to blame for that except my excessive inferiority complex towards all of my classmates because of my inability to study. And it's a shame that I'm alive. Man, harsh. Starting there, I was no longer reading the paragraph they'd made me write. It was me, improvising, and it was what was in my heart. They noticed that it wasn't what they had anticipated, but while they did frown, no one spoke. So I continued. That's right. It's a shame that I lived. I should have had them take me with them on that day in 1986, and yet I was the only one who wasn't taken. Why am I here? This isn't the world I'm supposed to be in. No one will save me. For a time, I felt as though only the fictional friends I created inside myself could save me, but those friends were nothing more than a delusion, and they didn't save me at all. After all, this isn't a world of imagination, but a world of reality. So in short, up until today, I've been having the same daydream. I hated my real classmates, and only lived by interacting with the friends in my mind. Just now I split up with those friends, so I am here. I have no family. I've thrown my friends away too. There's no longer anything left for me. Why haven't I died? Someone asked me that a short while ago. I think they're right. Why am I alive? I should have died in the year 1986. No, I must really have died. And yet, my dead soul is still locked up inside this cage of flesh. So I'll ask someone. If no one answers, I'll do it myself. Please, let me die. I spoke that sentence and looked around. Dumbfounded girls, shocked girls, girls whose faces seemed to be saying, what the heck is this kid talking about? And a bit late, more and more girls with faces that said, is this girl alright? And then, when I ordered the friends in my daydream to kill, they couldn't do it. And so, I asked real humans to kill me. But of course, these girls can't do it either. In other words, both daydreams and reality are the same. Doesn't this mean that including this world, absolutely everything is a daydream? Then there's no problem, right? After all, on that day when I lost my family, I was already dead. Everything that happened afterwards is going on in my head, my life flashing before my eyes after I failed to die. Once I understood that, it felt like the scenery surrounding me began to twist and bend slightly. Yeah, I will finally wake up. I'll be released from this daydream world. I feel my consciousness sliding away. It's alright. Fade farther and farther away and take me to my family. Then no matter what happens in this twisted, stale world, I won't mind it at all. I saw the crowd get pushed aside as a teacher stepped in. Finally! Perhaps the teacher doing the rounds happened to notice a strange disturbance. The teacher was vigorously shouting something, moving to protect me. Watching that, I knew that an ally had appeared for me, even if there was only one, and I felt my awareness return very slightly. The only ones who can save me in the world of reality are real humans. Never again will I seek rescue from daydreams. This is the world of humans. Nothing can save a human except other humans.